Today on Oprah.
The person who raised me was Rosie O'Donnell.
These are bones.
Okay, who else could we give a talk show to?
Miss Piggy. Imagine Miss Piggy just being like, what?
Seance.
Beyonce. What's your favorite kind of cheese? If we're going to give anybody a talk show, Nene Leakes. Are you familiar?
Here and there.
Summertime Ugly?
Yeah. I'm staying home, sick from school. Gotta catch the view.
Britney Spears is leaving Kevin Federline.
Confetti! No, because in the sense that, because in LA, Kelly Osbourne, because in LA, what? The Ellen show is just the Rosie O'Donnell show. Pink taking over?
I think Pink is taking over all of New York. Mom Donnie is stepping down and Pink is becoming the mayor of New York.
My Mayor Pink.
My Mayor Pink.
iHeartRadio Canada presents Bestie Listen.
Today on Oprah. Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
You know, we love to talk.
Do we ever?
We love to Bestie Listen.
We love The View.
Yeah.
I like The View.
I like The View.
I like to get real with you.
You do like to get real.
Which other ones can we fit in here?
I think that's really it,
That's
actually.
it, yeah.
We like to talk. Oh, we already did that. Never mind. Today we're talking about talk shows.
One of my favorite subjects.
Yeah, famously
One
almost.
of your favorite subjects.
It is one of my favorite subjects. Like, you know, where to begin? I would say, what raised you? Which shows were like the shows that you really like sat around the TV, maybe with your parents or whoever, and you were like, wait, this is for me?
Yeah, I usually tried not to watch anything with my parents.
Okay.
But the person who raised me, besides my mother, was Rosie O'Donnell, who's my other mother. Rosie O'Donnell and the Rosie O'Donnell show quite literally raised me. I have such vivid memories of rushing home after school to catch it. And it goes right back to the beginning. And it was such a comfort show and a show that I still, to this day, like I'm still following the Rosie clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I will watch whatever I can find of the Rosie O'Donnell show to this day.
Why was this so important to you? And also, do you think it impacted you in a way?
It definitely impacted.
Do you throw koosh balls at people?
I wish that I could.
Oh.
I wish that we could have them on this show. I'm looking to increase the budget to get specifically koosh balls. But I think it influenced my taste in television,
Pop
film,
culture.
pop culture, because she was such a fan of things and that really came through the TV.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's how it influenced me. What about you? Who raised you?
I would say Oprah raised me. That was like a big thing for me. I would literally come home from school, put out my assortment of snacks. It was a lot. And then just chow down and watch TV with my mommy.
Wow.
And we would watch Oprah for a full hour. And it was like actually life-changing. Like, I don't know if it impacted me because I don't have the same journalistic integrity, but I think it made me ask questions and probe. Because like if I'm at someone's party or at a pre-drink and I just met you, it's like, what's your sign?
You're doing the sit down.
Yeah,
You're
what's
doing the
your sign?
Oprah one-on-one sit down.
These are bones.
Some of those topics were pretty heavy.
Yeah, I didn't actually care for the Oprah episodes that were like, you know, woman stung by 1,000 bees or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was like, I was there for the celebrity sit down.
Right.
You know, to quote Kathy Griffin, it's like, Whitney Houston, Oprah. Like that was my life.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Aniston was on once a week. Celine Dion,
it
I
does
think.
feel like she was.
Celine was on, I think there's like the most anybody's ever been on Oprah. I think it's like somewhere in the 18, 19 times.
Wow.
It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, it really gave me my like interest in pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because why is one celebrity on for an hour? Why are we doing, especially at a young age, maybe I didn't know so much, but like I didn't know about the Carol Burnett show, but we were doing a full hour anniversary, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't exist anymore, which I say once a week on this podcast.
I know. What makes a good talk show host? What makes Oprah so great?
What makes Oprah so great is that she asked a question and then listened and didn't need her cards. And I think Oprah rarely by the end, I mean, obviously she had a prompter, but she was listening and she was intent and she was personal and she asked a follow-up, which is, you know, we're going to get to this in a bit, but if there's a criticism for current talk show hosts, the follow-up is kind of lost. And if it is a follow-up, it's not, you know, Oprah was always getting the interview. And when she got the interview, she got the answer. And I think that was so important. And this was all happening in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like she had Jennifer Aniston's first interview post Brad Pitt divorce after the Vanity Fair spread. And she was asking her, how long did you cry for? Stuff like that. Anyway, I think the questions is what makes it important. To Oprah, if you're going to something like The View, entertainment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 I wanted a show from The View.
But the key that you're getting at there is that a great talk show host doesn't just talk, they listen.
Yeah.
That's something that I learned from Barbara Walters
100%.
on The View.
May
is
she
that
rest.
listening is key.
Yeah.
And the follow-up is key, which not everybody has that.
What made people like Barbara Walters so important and so good was that they were iconic, for lack of a better word. Like Barbara was a character, famously then like kind of a character of herself. And then you had the Rachel Dratch impression on SNL. And like they were as interesting as the interview and the interviewee. Or yeah, they were like, you were watching the Oprah interview to watch her go, today on Oprah.
Yeah.
You were watching the Barbara interview to be like, you know, her kind of rhyming with herself or whatever her thing was. Yeah.
It's like what they say about journalists that you should report the news, not become the news, where Barbara, Oprah, Rosie, etc. became the news.
100%. I mean, you see it now with like a lot of those old interviews kind of going viral and people of a different generation looking back and being like, was this okay? Whatever. But it's also like, you know, you have the Diane Sawyer Whitney Houston sit down after Whitney's appearance at the Michael Jackson tribute episode on CBS, whatever it was. And it's where that thing comes from where like she's criticizing Whitney's appearance. She's like, Whitney, those are bones. And then Whitney's like, are they Diane? But like, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Like it existed in a singular way.
Yeah.
These shows define a genre. And I think for a reason why is that, first of all, we were all watching it. Like Oprah was getting, in its heyday, probably like 8 million viewers at 4 p.m., which is simply unheard of now. That doesn't exist anymore. But also it came with so many iconic moments. You can go so far back. I think like you don't even need to have watched Oprah and you can be even of a younger age and just know about the wagon of fat.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of exists in the culture.
Or when she went to the racist town. Like I see that come up on TikTok annually.
Yeah.
Like that was such an episode.
Yeah. It's actually like, I mean, she did a lot, but it's like there were so many defining moments on that show. Tom Cruise famously jumping off the couch.
Jumping on the couch.
Jumping on and off.
And
on
off.
and off.
You had to get off.
You had to get on, get off. There were moments that like stopped you.
Yeah.
And you would talk about it for days after from a talk show. It's kind of insane.
Yeah. And these ones that we're talking about are more legitimate sort of talk shows, but there was also the trashy sort of subgenre of like the Maury Poviches and the Montel Williams.
Jerry Springer,
Jenny Jones. Famously trashy. Ricky Lake sort of like walked the line.
Well, Oprah started as one of those.
Yes, exactly.
Because
she was like Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah, she was like Phil Donahue. Like I'm a little too young to remember that time of the TV.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Yeah, I still have it. I'm like, it was that era where they were all kind of doing like almost tabloid-esque episode of the day. Not episode of the day. It was like story of the day.
Hey, look at this freak.
Yeah.
That's what they would do.
Yeah, but it was kind of crazy because that was, I'm going to sound insane. Like that was like TikTok. That doesn't make sense. But it was like, you didn't see that anywhere else.
I know.
You couldn't open YouTube in 1991.
This is what I'll say is that those kinds of shows platformed people that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
So like there's that famous episode, I think it's Sally Jesse Raphael, where they have the club kids on from New York.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, who are these people? And they're living this like, for me, this alternative lifestyle. And it's like, that's an option. Well, and then I just saw this clip come up of, I think it was also Sally on TikTok just the other day. And she was talking to a non-binary person. And this was like the 80s.
Crazy.
And she was like trying to understand it. And she was like very empathetic.
Yeah.
And people were really praising her in the comments. But it's like, who who had even like the idea, like
to put that forward.
Yeah, how would you ever get exposed to something like that if not for these talk shows?
It just existed at a different time. And also you're doing 5 shows a week. How many episodes from September to June or whatever it was, you needed to fill time and story. So it was like, okay.
We have a handful of episodes. We're out of ideas. I don't know how they did it.
Well,
5 days a week.
I'm bringing out my wagon of fat next week. So, but Oprah has so many iconic moments. And then also she's kind of mothered so many other talk shows that came after her. So the Oprah of it all is amazing, of course, and the sit downs are incredible. And then after Oprah came, we're going to get to The View, and that didn't come after Oprah, but the Tyra Banks show is kind of a daughter of the Oprah show.
Let's talk about it. The Tyra Banks show was like ancillary content to ANTM. I felt like if you weren't watching ANTM, you weren't watching the Tyra Banks show.
Yeah, because like What Stayed Home Mom was like, you know what I got to watch? I have to watch Tyra Banks give everybody a tiny bottle of Vaseline. And then just kind of never explain it.
Okay, I'm so glad that you brought up the Vaseline because this was such a moment. And of course, like to what you're saying, it is the daughter of the Oprah Winfrey show. And what she's doing is parodying Oprah giving everybody a car.
Yes, in a sense, but I don't think to Tyra it was ever parody.
No, I think Tyra...
It was actually so serious.
I think Tyra was like, it was like a little bit with a wink she was doing it, but it was also, like she did feel... I mean, she sat there bedazzling these Vaselines. Like they were not
I don't think she bedazzled them.
I know.
I think Jay Manuel was bedazzling them.
Somebody had to sit there and bedazzle the Vaselines. Was it with Swarovski crystals or just
I don't know because
Amazon jewels?
That wasn't my takeaway. My takeaway was that they were like the keychain Vaseline.
They were keychain Vaselines.
Yeah. So the budget was small on that show.
But she did such a great job.
I love that we're going along on the Vaseline things, but this is kind of what it means, which is like there are so many moments from that show, which also that show I think was only on for 6 seasons. Which is crazy because
so, to be fair, that's a long time.
No, that is a long time. God, if we're so lucky. But there's so many moments from that show that were and still are viral.
That's when she has rabies, or was that on ANTM?
I think that was on ANTM.
No, but what did she do?
But this is what you're saying. They exist
they blurred together
in a tunnel.
No, she did. Didn't she do something on her show where she was like sick?
I think every day.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments, I mean, there's a few on this list that are like popping out at me that I forgot. This is not my favorite moment. I just want to make that clear. But when she experienced homelessness just for a day.
Yeah.
She did what she could.
That was a good
She was reporting live.
Mm-hmm.
And for Tyra, I think that's where we went from what they were doing in the early 90s. And she was trying to do that again, except it's not okay what she was doing.
Yeah.
It was missing so much like it should have never happened, obviously.
Yeah. There was also her infamous Naomi Campbell interview on the Tyra show. Did they have an audience or no?
So famously, she had no audience, and she looks direct to camera and she goes, "Today I'm having Naomi Campbell in the studio today, and this is the first time in maybe 16 years we're talking. And I asked for no audience, nobody here. Just the two of us." And then she goes, "Please welcome Naomi Campbell." And Naomi like patters out in silence.
It's like clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
It's actually really iconic. Like, say what you want about that show, but they were making a show.
They were.
It was entertaining.
And then you had her getting paparazzi'd in her bathing suit, and the National Enquirer is calling her fat. So then she comes out.
Kiss my big fat ass.
In her bathing suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like we were now getting into like the TMZ Perez Hilton of it all. And it was getting really crazy. But I think when talking about the Tyra Banks show, we have to talk about the Beyonce interview.
Well, she did it with so many people. Are you talking about Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of cheese? She did it with Beyonce. She did it with Miley Cyrus.
I feel like she did it with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And do you want me to do some for you?
Yeah, please. Are you going to say Jorance?
Danger. Do you do your own stunts?
I do. I do. I'm going to respond like Beyonce, who was bewildered as to what was happening and famously has never done an interview since that interview.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Your dance. What's your favorite dance move?
Any? We have to say, like, Beyonce is really funny.
It's really good. Some of them were incredible. She had a crack team of writers.
That writers team was going crazy back there.
When I say a crack team of writers, I mean like they were on crack.
Oh my God. Sorry. My actual favorite moment from the Tyra Banks show is when she had Patti LaBelle on and they're doing a cooking segment, and nothing gives me more stress and anxiety than a cooking segment on a talk show because you have 4 minutes to make like enchiladas.
We only
and
got
it's
4
like,
minutes.
we only have 4 minutes to save the world and to do a cooking segment. So Patty's on.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh my God, it's incredible. So it's Patty, Tyra, and whoever the woman is. It's like a baker or a chef, whatever.
Julia Child, let's say.
It's Julia Child. A woman sent there to destroy Patti LaBelle. So she's like, Patty's like, just paper on it. And the woman goes, what? Patty, don't eat the paper. And then Tyra's like, what's Patty saying over there? And Patty's like, yeah, I know to not eat the paper, babe. It is a back and forth that we are just, it doesn't exist anymore.
I've never seen this.
Oh my God. It's akin to Nicole came in on the Ellen DeGeneres show with Giada De Laurentiis, and Giada made like a focaccia and a pizza.
Right, yes.
And Nicole takes it and she goes, little tough. And it's really funny. And it's a really big gif. Anyway, so from the Tyra Banks show, we go to another show, a little show called The View. Are you familiar?
Am I familiar with The View? Yeah, The View was like such classic. I'm staying home, sick from school. Gotta catch The View. Anything else, like, you know, if I'm watching The Price is Right, fine. I can miss it.
Sure.
I can't miss The View.
No.
And The View is just such an incredible concept. Of course, born from the twisted mind of Barbara Walters. And it's gone through so many lineups.
May she rest.
It's gone up through so many lineups. I want to know, first off, what is your favorite View lineup?
It's the Rosie, Sherry, Elizabeth, Barbara, who I grew up in the era where Barbara only came in on Fridays sometimes. And that was my least favorite day because it was like when the teacher came back to class and everybody had to be like, oh, well, she's here. We got to behave. I loved when the teacher was out of class.
Yeah.
But also it was Barbara. So it was like, you were always getting something iconic, but that was my lineup. Yours is.
Yeah. Well, I
think Joy was there as well. Not to be
of
rude.
course. She was always there except for the brief period where she was fired. But I have to say, yes, of course, the Rosie lineup is iconic and gave us some of the most iconic moments ever on The View. We'll talk about some of them in a minute. But ultimately, there's been so many, there's been so many seasons of the Whoopi, Sherry, Joy, Elizabeth, Barbara lineup that it gave us so much, like there's such a wealth of material there that like that has to be, for me, the ultimate lineup.
Yeah.
Rosie was unsustainable on The View.
Well, Rosie also, what we're forgetting was that she was on The View her first time for 1 year.
Basically a year.
And then she came back and that was a disaster lineup.
That doesn't count.
Well,
it's non-canon.
It's not canon at all. I completely agree. But it was from a production standpoint, made no sense because you had two titans who were both fighting to be moderator, but it was Whoopi. Yeah. And I don't think Rosie, not that she didn't understand it, I think she had a hard time, as anybody would. You know, if I left the show and I came back and somebody was in my chair, what would I be doing? Organizing the shelves?
Yeah. Well, also, Rosie had a talk show that she hosted. Then she moderated The View, like to come back
her
and take
weird
a
own
back seat.
talk show?
And then that.
The own show.
I meant the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Oh, sorry.
The famous Rosie O'Donnell show.
The fact that I even know the own show is what we're getting
good. The own show was good. But yeah, I think she had a really hard time with coming back and taking a back seat.
Now, as a big fan of The View, did you watch for the opinions or for the tension that was a result of those opinions? Or for both?
Why can't we have both?
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't we have both?
Yeah.
I want to know what their opinions I want to know what their opinions are, of course. They're usually not going to inform my opinion unless sometimes Joy can, I think. I'll give it to Joy.
Like current day Joy or then?
Then.
Okay.
No, not now. Nobody should be taking Joy's opinion on board today. But I feel like what you really watched for was the interpersonal dynamics because they were shifting day by day. Really, truly, they were shifting day by day. And take Sherry Shepherd as an example.
Yeah.
I think Sherry Shepherd is the gold standard for what you want a View co-host to be because she comes in knowing literally nothing.
I don't think she knew what she got herself into on that show.
When they're talking about evolution, which why is that a hot topic in the first place?
That's when we were
I think it's about
crazy.
teaching evolution in schools or something like that was a hot topic. But Sherry's like, I have nothing to say. And so they're like trying to coax her into the conversation. And Whoopi eventually says to her, well, is the world flat? To which she says, I don't know. I never thought about it, Whoopi. And this goes on for minutes. Like they should have cut to commercial, how to talk with Sherry Shepherd. They didn't do that.
So
they worked it out at the table. And do you know where she landed? Do you remember where she landed?
No.
She said, I got to go to the library.
Me after every episode we record.
Yeah. And then fast forward all those years and Sherry Shepherd is like a force to be reckoned with in political debate at The View. Like
sure.
She was great. She was such a grower.
The thing I remember most about Sherry from The View is two things. We're going to get to one of them in a second. But the other one is when the cast of Glee was on Rolling Stone. And I think Diana Agron is like in a short. Okay. And Leah Michelle is in a schoolgirl skirt. And it's like being blown up by wind. And you can see her underwear. And Sherry said, well, I don't think it's appropriate if I'm in line at the grocery store and Jeffrey is going to see that. Mm-hmm. And that has stuck with me every day since. And I don't know why, but it always informed my opinion on Sherry.
Right.
Which was just like, yeah, I get that. But also like, you make the decision as a parent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what she's saying is she can't make the decision 100%. Of whether or not Jeffrey gets to see that if it's on the rack at the grocery store.
Do you think Sherry was doing her own groceries?
I can't believe we're debating this hot
topic. I know. And it came back around 20 years later. Okay. When we talk about The View, obviously we have to mention, I think for me and for you, obviously, our favorite moments from TV ever are from The View.
Yeah.
My favorite moment ever in my life, and I wasn't involved in it at all, except I did stay home from school that day somehow, and I watched it, was the Rosie and Elizabeth fight.
Yeah.
I think that television peaked with that fight. I think it's the greatest thing ever produced. I think the split screen is criminal and also genius at the same time. It is a full 10 minutes from start to finish. Sometimes you only watch the 5 minutes on YouTube, but it's a full 10 minutes. I always watch the 10 minutes. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. The fact that they let it go on for so long is insane because any watcher of The View knows that our segments are 2.5 minutes long. Like they are cutting to commercial. That show is half commercial, half The View. And when you consider that half of the View part of The View is actually just selling stuff on View Your Deal.
View Your Deal. Oprah's View
There's
Your
actually
Deal.
so little View that the fact that they gave them 10 minutes to fight like that is insane. And I always think about, the first thing I think about when I think of that fight is Joy Behar saying, who's directing this show? Let's go to commercial.
Let's go to commercial.
Yeah.
I wrote down some of my favorite lines. I watched it today.
Let's go.
I watched it today for the 50th time.
Let's go.
This is literally like, if I were to ever do drag again, we'll get to the first time in another episode. I want to do like just a monologue of this, but I want to be at like Woody's on a Sunday night.
A monologue of both parts.
But I do both parts.
It's a dialogue, really.
We have some of my favorite lines from that is our big fat lesbian loud Rosie.
Yeah.
Is what Rosie says about herself because she can't say anything and that's how it's inferred.
Yeah.
Sherry in the middle of the argument saying, this is why I like watching Dancing with the Stars. And I agree. Elizabeth saying, guess what? I like facts. Joy saying,
the way I know the follow-up line to all of these.
Joy saying, did I or did I not give this panel a list of facts? And then we're in the middle of the fight. Sherry decides.
I knew you were going to say
I know.
I knew you were
Sherry
going to say
decides, I'm going to cut to commercial for everybody. She goes, and oh my gosh, you know what? We're going to be right back with Alicia Silverstone. To which Rosie goes,
says, no, we're not.
No. No, we're not. Because we have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Joy then saying, is there no commercial in this show? Are we on PBS? I'm screaming. And then Elizabeth saying, you said nothing. And that's cowardly.
No, Rosie said that to Elizabeth.
Rosie said that.
Yeah.
You're right. And then Rosie also said, why don't you take the opportunity like I'm 6? What that fight represents is a friendship that was falling apart in real time.
Yeah.
And also, it was a turning point for The View where it went from kind of a nice show
where they would occasionally have a debate.
Once in a while they had a
heated
debate. But once Rosie came in and Meredith had left, it turned into a completely different show. And which is kind of crazy because Rosie coming from the Rosie O'Donnell show, famously known as the Queen of Nice, then went on to The View and wasn't portrayed nice, which I don't think was my issue. I thought she was fabulous on The View. She gave us television. She gave us the beginning of her fights with, everybody.
Everybody.
With Donald Trump and etc. But that was kind of the turning point where they decided, oh, why don't we do this every day?
Yeah. That's when it became a political show. And I think it may have become a political show anyways, but this, I think, was Rosie's platform that she didn't have on her original show.
To talk about politics?
To talk politics. Where there was glimmers of it. There's a famous Tom Selleck interview on the Rosie O'Donnell show where she gets into it about the NRA. And that was so controversial. So I think she sort of like stopped that. And then she gets this platform on The View and it's like, oh my God, every day I'm going to go in on politics. But by the way, the Donald Trump stuff wasn't political at the time.
No, because it was
about like Miss whatever.
Yeah. Miss USA.
Miss USA, the fake Miss America. That's what that was about.
The hair
it
flip
becomes political in retrospect. But yeah, there was so much great stuff that Rosie brought to that show. And I think it did propel it. Like it may have been getting there anyway, but she propelled it.
I think it was already iconic and then it made it so much more iconic because you can literally pull. And let's talk about her power. From one season of The View, there are maybe 20 moments from her one season that are iconic. Britney Spears is leaving Kevin Federline.
Confetti! We should have had confetti.
Yeah. Anybody have confetti?
It's sad when you scream confetti and nothing happens.
When talking about iconic moments from The View, we obviously have to talk about Kelly Osbourne's huge blunder that has become ingrained in the internet. And I just want to say, tough. Really tough. Tough stuff all around.
Yeah. I mean, like, not tough for me. I could watch it a million times.
Absolutely.
It's not hard to watch. I'll tell you that. I love it. And it's from that really bizarre time period where they have the strange table.
It's yellow. The table's weird. Everybody has a mohawk.
Everything's strange. Like Raven's wearing a bowler hat. Like it's just
My hand actually cramps.
Always strange. And so there, of course, once again, like Donald Trump just gives us great moments on The View.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's just
I didn't know where that sentence was going.
And so you have this great moment where Kelly Osbourne says, if you kick all the Mexicans out of this country, who's going to clean your toilet? Donald Trump. Immediately. Oh, that's not. You can hear like a collective gasp. And then it's the way, for me, it's like, that's not, yes, that's iconic, of course. But it's the follow-up to that where you can see Kelly Osbourne trying to recover. And she says, no, because in the sense that, and then there's still chaos. And she still doesn't know what's coming after in the sense that, because there is no in the sense that.
There was no sense.
And it's in the sense that, because in LA, which she doesn't get to finish that sentence, but I, to this day, would love to know Kelly Osbourne, because in LA, what? Exactly. Because in LA, what?
You know what? I don't want to hear that. I think like that is in the pantheon of like, not only iconic moments, it then transcended itself into GIF world.
Yeah.
Where you just have to put the, like where she goes, in the set. And then it's like, she's really embedded herself for better or for worse in the history of the internet. Yeah. And I say to that, congratulations. One of my we're going to get to Meghan McCain in a second for better or for worse. Sure. One of my favorite The View moments, and we were talking about today in our group chat with our producer, is when Elizabeth Hasselbeck stormed off The View. If you've never seen it, go to YouTube, type in Elizabeth Hasselbeck. I think New York Post is what it is.
Yeah. Put that in the New York fucking Post.
Yeah. So they get into a conversation about
abortion, pro-life. Yeah.
Yes. Well, naturally. Lisa Loeb is in the middle of this conversation.
Poor Lisa Loeb has found herself at the table, filling in for Star Jones, presumably, which is a whole other
With
saga.
Much
prayer and counsel. Yeah.
I'm going to say that the day I leave this podcast, which I'm never leaving, by the way.
Who would I talk to?
Okay, so Elizabeth gets into a fight. She is saying something insane. Barbara kind of cuts her off, reprimands her live on The View, which we are now in the golden age of The View, which like that stuff was happening every day. That was just like, you would then watch The View because you're literally like, what is going to happen today? That happened. Then several years ago, the audio was leaked of when Elizabeth stormed off stage.
Yeah, and wearing a hot mic.
She was still mic'd.
Yeah.
And what I imagine is that she stormed off stage and then just went up the stairs and then came back around and then was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go on. And then just sat down. And then Barbara gives her a nuggie, which is the weirdest thing of that whole interview.
Yeah, she like sits. Elizabeth gets up and sits in Barbara's lap.
Yeah. And Elizabeth's like,
and they're like, at the end of the day, we all love each other. But if you hear the audio from backstage, that's
the
not
audio
the case.
from backstage is incredible because Elizabeth says one of my favorite quotes where she goes, fuck that. I don't even swear. She's making me swear.
She's like, I can't even breathe. I've lost my cards. I threw them. I lost my cards. I don't even have my cards.
And then you have a producer in her ear be like, Elizabeth, we're on stage in 30. She's like, okay. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then it cuts to her sitting on Barbara's lap and Barbara giving her a nuggie.
And then similar to the Alicia Silverstone moment, they're like, why don't we get Sally Field out here and ask her what she thinks about this?
Sally Field's backstage being like, now why am I
What am I doing? Yeah. That's a great one. Another fight that I love so much is so underrated is Rosie versus Barbara on Rosie calling Barbara's house rich. Do you know that one?
Yes, that's iconic.
Where she says the first real rich house I've been in was yours, Barbara.
Sorry.
And Barbara has like, everybody knows Barbara's so posh and whatever, but
also
she has this like need to appear as humble, which nobody sees her as that.
Yeah.
And so Rosie calling her apartment rich, this Fifth Avenue apartment rich, is like, we know that.
Well,
but Barbara's pissed.
The issue with that was that like Rosie kind of lifted the veil on Barbara,
Yeah.
and that was the problem.
But it's like the veil was transparent.
Yeah. We don't have time to get to Meghan McCain, unfortunately, but I have one more Rosie moment, which is my favorite, is when there was a cross feud between Rosie and Kelly Ripa on Live with Kelly and whoever was alive or on at that time. And Kelly got in trouble for saying, because Clay Aiken was the co-host.
Yeah.
He put his hands over her mouth and she said, I don't know where those hands have been.
Yes.
Rosie said it was homophobic. The next day, Kelly Ripa called in via the telephone and she goes, Rosie.
Which they surprised Rose. They were like, we've got someone on the phone. It was like Ricky, like ding dong.
Rosie, you know I love you. That's not what it was.
Yeah.
That's not what it was, Rosie.
Yeah.
And Rosie, I think, kind of got her ass a little handed to her. It was like, well, that is what it is.
Yeah.
That was our time on The View. I could actually go long on that.
Yeah, how did we not bring up Meghan McCain? She's John McCain's daughter.
Famously.
Okay.
If you liked more of that, you should listen to Deja The View. After The View, or at the same time, we also had the birth of the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with Ellen?
I actually loved Ellen. I loved Ellen so much.
Ellen.
I love Ellen. She was so iconic to me right before her talk show started because I discovered her stand-up. Yeah.
Here and Now.
I was Here and Now.
Changed my life.
In tears.
Changed my life.
In tears.
It's incredible.
So funny. And I was like, oh my God, Ellen's getting a talk show because she had sort of been blacklisted after coming out on her
Famously.
sitcom. And so, and that's another Oprah moment we didn't talk about, but
Oprah being a guest on,
Ellen being a guest on Oprah's show after she came out.
Yes.
Big interview. Anyways, so I was so thrilled that Ellen was getting a talk show. And in the early days, I did really love it. I thought it was cute, but it became something that I didn't sign up for.
The Ellen show?
Yeah.
Well,
it just became a little too sanitized for me.
That's what I was going to say.
And it was like, enough with the dancing. We know you can go over the table.
Well, the table just kept getting bigger and bigger. And she was like, spread eagle, sliding over that thing. then she went in the audience and it was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the question here is like, do you think that format aged well? I think for the time, it was a great format. And it was almost revolutionary because it took the celebrity format to we had iterations of it. The Rosie O'Donnell show originally was a celebrity format.
This is the thing, is the Ellen show is just the Rosie O'Donnell show. It's just the Rosie O'Donnell show again, which I think Ellen succeeded in, and it lasted much longer than the Rosie O'Donnell show. But I don't see a lot of differences between them. And I think they succeeded for the same reasons.
I see a few differences. The hair, the dancing. And that was kind
where
of
Ellen would dance, Rosie would sing.
Yes.
Both bad.
When did you personally start to hear rumors of Ellen and how she acted towards others? And were you surprised?
You know what? If I cast my mind back, really, I think I probably was surprised because I think Ellen did fool me as the Queen of Nice. And so, yeah, I think I was surprised. Did I care at that point? No, I had like tuned out of the Ellen show. I just really didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. I didn't give a fuck either, but someone did this on TikTok recently and I thought it was really interesting. They timelined the rise and fall of Ellen based on the Dakota Johnson interview. Yeah. So Ellen said I wasn't invited to your birthday, which Dakota responded with,
"That's not the truth,
Thank
Ellen.
you.
I know you've said it every episode of this podcast.
That's not the truth, Ellen."
It actually is.
And then they got into the back and forth. It becomes a headline. And then it was found out that Ellen was at a tennis match or whatever with George Bush sitting beside him. And then she got dragged for that because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And the downfall had begun. And then the rumors started to come out that she was not nice.
A difficult boss. But you know what? I don't know.
What don't you know?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and defend Ellen.
All right, well.
But like, okay, she's a difficult boss. A lot of people are difficult bosses.
Yeah.
So
you think it's okay?
It's not that I think it's okay, but it's not like she threw a stapler at somebody.
That we know of.
I think we would have heard about it.
Yeah, she's like, I almost slipped on the table when I was dancing. Oh!
Rips the leg off the table and chucks it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing here. And that leads us to our next question is, do you think Ellen was actually just messy, but other hosts owned that they were messy? So comparatively, we cannot talk about talk shows without talking about one of our great, great entries in the genre, Wendy Williams, who was in interview messy, but she owned it, right? Where Ellen was like, I'm the queen of nice. I'm so nice. I'm donating to charities, which is lovely. I dance over tables. I have kids on. Yeah. You went viral on Twitter. Here's $1 million. But secretly in the middle of an interview with Mariah Carey being like, I think she like insinuated she had gained weight or stuff like that, or just being kind of like,
oh, I don't know that story.
Yeah, there's a really weird interview with Mariah. She's a little passive aggressive. Famously, it always gets back to Kathy Griffin for me. Had Kathy on, even though she kind of had Kathy blacklisted because Kathy was mean, but Ellen was nice.
Right.
But this is where we get into like the nice and versus good territory. Are you a nice person or are you a kind person? So you can be nice, but are you kind?
Yeah.
And you can be kind and maybe not nice, but you're still a kind person. And I think that's kind of where the messiness happened, where I think with Wendy, she would say to your face,
yeah, I don't think Wendy had any like workplace issues, did she?
No, I think everybody, well, who was her producer that she was always?
The gay one?
No, the blonde one.
Oh, her, yes.
Yeah.
Don't remember her name.
Yeah. I can hear my boyfriend screaming at her because he loves her. But she'd always be like, why are you wearing that? You look crazy. And then like continue with her interview. One of my favorite, sorry, I need to do a tangent on Wendy right now. Do it. One of my favorite Wendy Williams interviews is her Kiki Palmer interview. It's 12 minutes. Every second enjoyable. Every second is enjoyable. And when Kiki calls Wendy out and she's like, Wendy asks her a question and Kiki's like, well, everybody's heard about it because you keep talking about it on the show every day.
Oh yeah.
And Wendy goes, but that's when you can be messy and fun on TV.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Wendy had this permission to
do whatever the hell she wanted.
Wild.
Yeah.
Because
she came from radio.
I very rarely watched the interviews. Like I would watch the 20 minutes of Hot Topics.
Yes.
And then kind of move on with my life for the most part.
Guess who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce.
It was just like so iconic that she could just talk shit and talk about rumors that are like people's lives are falling apart, who she has relationships with through her work.
Yes.
And she could get away with talking about them, where a lot of talk show hosts start to protect their friends. Wendy didn't care.
Yeah, and that's what we liked about the Wendy Williams show, is that you knew you were tuning in for mess, right?
Yeah.
Where every other show offered you something else. And I think conversely, the same time, that's what The View had kind of become, which is like, I was tuning into The View for mess, right? Like now The View is
Don't get me started.
roof stoof. It is really, like, it is 40 minutes of just Donald Trump and then View Your Deal for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
As a historian of The View, what would you fix about The View now? I think we've discussed this a little bit when we're not recording, and I know, but please tell our audience.
So the first problem is, and we didn't talk about her, but we need Meghan McCain back. I'm sorry. We need Meghan McCain or a Meghan McCain-like figure, or
With
Elizabeth Hasselbeck. We need buns, braid. What else did she
do? The COVID Zoom hair was really out of control.
She had the ice cream, the soft vanilla
None
ice
of it
cream
was
top.
okay.
She did. She was starting that before the Zoom.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need a really controversial figure.
Meghan, we got to go to break.
We need an annoying person. That's what we have to have on The View. Like, that is the point. There's a reason the Elizabeth years were so successful. And then there's a dip. And then Meghan comes and like reinvigorates the show, because coming back to her villains episode, you need someone you love to hate on The View. Like, well, that is the concept.
Yeah.
And right now they have 5-6 people that all kind of are centrists and agree
except
with each
for
other.
Sunny.
Yeah, but they even on, I feel like most issues, they all kind of agree.
Yeah, that's really the problem, which is like, I tried for a little bit to watch it, and I'm like, well, we're all agreeing, and I don't really want to watch that. And this isn't the Real Housewivesification of talk shows. It's not forced fighting. The point of The View, almost famously in the title, is different points of view.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean I agree. It means at 11 o'clock, when I'm having my smoothie and my coffee, when I'm supposed to be working, I want to watch 5 women argue and not really agree with each other, but have a conversation and give me entertainment at the same time.
Yeah, because did you tune into The View for that weird week that Elizabeth Hasselbeck was back?
Yeah, when
recently.
Jesus say yes, she says amen.
Yeah, it was iconic, and it was must-see TV, and it was the most watchable The View has been in years. And I thought in that moment they were going to call up Alyssa Farah Griffin and be like, "Congratulations on your baby. Enjoy your time with that little toddler." Tot. Because we've found a replacement, and it's the OG Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She's back, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing here. We've had this lineup for so long. And so what we really need is a lineup shakeup. We need someone on the far right. I would love someone on the far left. Like, let's get a little bit polarizing opinions here. And then we need to drop Sarah. She gives us nothing. And
Sarah has become...
We need to drop Anna. I'm sorry. Like, I've heard all the knock jokes I can hear.
Yeah, I agree. Well, okay. That takes us to...
Jordana Navarro.
Yeah.
What's your favorite joke?
That takes us to the talk shows of now. We are kind of in this weird phase of like, you know, you have the Kelly Clarkson show, you have the Drew Barrymore show, you have whatever's happening on the Jennifer Hudson show, you had the Sherry Shepherd show.
Which, RIP, because that was good.
It was okay.
What I saw of it was good, which was a couple episodes.
Yeah, and that's all they had. I love Sherry. I don't think she's made for that format, but Sherry is one of our great comedic actresses. But we're in this weird flux now with these talk shows where it's almost the drag racification. I'm really using that term today of like, everything's been almost sanitized and too nice, where it's not even, they're not even fighting on The View, nothing's happening anywhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which of these new talk shows do you think is the most successful?
I think the most successful in terms of success is the Kelly.
That's
No, but
that's the measurement I was hoping
no, but
for.
you can measure it. They're so different. You can measure it in different ways. In terms of actual talk show success, I would say the Kelly Clarkson show.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like
reach
and engagement and awareness. And then you look at the Drew Barrymore show, and I think it's been successful in the fact that it's been satirized on Saturday Night Live. There's things to pull from
There's
it.
virality.
It's virality.
Yeah.
Kelly has virality too, but it's mostly in the covers and the singing, which as a fan, we're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Jennifer Hudson show, which I don't know.
Well, it has virality in the love tunnel.
Spirit Tunnel.
The Spirit Tunnel.
Yes. This is the love tunnel.
But that's the problem with the Jennifer Hudson show. If the biggest part of your show
is outside of the
isn't
show.
on the show, that is a huge problem. But that video of Simon Cowell clapping like this is so iconic.
It's iconic. I think like from like a social perspective, I think that's great that they're doing that. But I think like we gotta make the virality happen on the show.
We need to be reaching for Emmys, not Webbies.
Exactly. And I think like, yeah, Kelly Clarkson show's successful. She's ending her run now. But I think like we actually need a great shakeup in the daytime field. I don't know what that is though, because my issue now, and I think they're all fine hosts in what they do.
But isn't Kelly leaving?
That's what I said. Yeah, the show's ending.
Yeah. And so what's happening is Pink taking over? Is that true?
I think Pink is taking over all of New York. I think Mom Donnie is stepping down and Pink is becoming the mayor of New York. And at the same time, she's going to be in Chicago 7 days a week.
Pink.
My Mayor Pink. Allegedly, that's the thing. I don't know if Pink has it in her to do a cooking segment every day. That takes
Does Kelly do a cooking segment? I've only seen the Kellyokies and like when she interviewed Alanis Morissette, of course.
Yeah, and that's kind of really
Great
interview. Well, that's where she succeeded, but that's kind of like, you know, of course she's interested in Alanis Morissette. That's an idol of hers. They are both, you know, singer-songwriters. They have a lot in common to talk about. She's invested in that interview. You know, when she has the cast of X reality show on, to be a fan is to know she's never seen that reality show.
Yeah.
And she didn't have time that week to watch the episodes.
Yeah.
So she doesn't care.
She's like me on this show.
Yeah. I'm
great when I'm talking about Alanis Morissette.
Everything
horrible.
Else out of it.
But wait till you hear me sing. What's your favorite karaoke? Do you have a favorite?
Oh my God.
Like, do you have a go-to?
I have a lot. I know. Similar to
Let me put my cards down.
Similar to Wicked, it's like if you come into my house and you see me on the couch watching karaoke's, you know I'm going through it. There's like a lot from this season that I really like. I can't name them off the top of my head. There's like too many. But I think the Happier Than Ever Billie Eilish cover is really incredible because that's a Kelly Clarkson song.
I'm sorry, it's an improvement on the original.
I think it's incredible. Also, she was mad as hell. She went to that studio that day.
Yeah.
She threw a donut at her producer and said, "Let's go." And she said, "We're fucking swearing today too, by the way. I don't care if this is on at 4 p.m. We're swearing."
Yeah.
But I will say, I appreciate that question. I would go long on it, but...
Well, can I give mine?
Please. I would love to hear it.
When she did the cover of If I Only Had a Brain, which was fierce. So spooky.
Yeah. Fierce is fierce.
I have watched that so many times.
It's incredible. Give me 30 seconds. With the karaoke, I think what's been so successful in that and akin to the Rosie O'Donnell show is that you saw her love for music and her musicality.
Yeah.
And
it's what Rosie did with Broadway.
Exactly. And I wish Kelly would have done that with New York, but she truly doesn't have the time. But when that stuff jumped out, the musicality and how much she loves singing. And when they did the Songs and Stories episodes with people, I was like, oh, this is what you do so well.
It's like, do that all the time, Dad.
Yeah.
We don't need a talk show to have actors on promoting NCIS. Like, we need a talk show about music. Nobody's done that.
Exactly, 100%. Or that's just like, you know, a weekly show on at night at 8 p.m. and whatever, and you give her a special.
Then how much time do you think Kelly spends in the studio doing her Sirius XM channel? Because I'm tuning into that all the time.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, is she talking?
Non-stop.
Oh, brother.
I almost wonder if it's AI.
No.
She's telling stories. She's got a connection with every single song. I'm like, how many hours are there in a day?
No, they just prop her up and she's like, hey, y'all. So when I first heard Radiohead, I was on Idol. I didn't want to do it. They made me do it from Justin Kelly.
So you have listened. That's
No,
literally what she says. That's literally
I've
what
never
she
listened.
says.
I just know. Okay, so like the current state's a little weird. What are your hopes and dreams for the next chapter? Who would you want to give a talk show to?
Well, I think bring back the Rosie O'Donnell show,
Sure.
number one, because it would be so, like she almost did during COVID. She did like an at-home version of the Rosie O'Donnell show, and it was electric. So I'd say bring that one back. Who should have a talk show? I don't know. Sherry Shepherd.
Paul Abdul.
Give her another chance. Paul Abdul would be great.
You know that iconic moment on the RuPaul talk show that existed for 6 weeks where she talked about a plane crash that didn't happen?
Yes, of course.
Imagine that every day. A different plane crash.
Instead of dancing, she can do like IBS down the stairs.
I was literally just going to bring that up. Her doing the Slater dance trend to Iowa. You know who we need to give a talk show?
Oprah.
I literally just go back in time.
She's talking everywhere. Yap. She never stops. And yet it's just not on TV. Like, what are we doing here? If we can get
a sequel to The Grinch, Oprah could come back to TV.
If we can give a sequel to The Grinch, we can make another Hook.
All right.
It was just a joke. Oh my God. Crickets here.
Caroline Rhea.
Caroline Rhea took over the Rosie O'Donnell show.
To bring it up.
And then what was crazy about that was because I was like,
start rolling the credits.
I was like, oh my God, like whichever aunt that was on Sabrina
and
whatever. I was like, Hilda. Oh great, was that Hilda? No, I think Hilda was the other one. Oh no, you're right, Hilda.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, she's taking over the Rosie O'Donnell show. This is great. That lasted like a week, and then do you know what they did with the Caroline Rhea show?
What?
They put it at 2 a.m. They put it on at 2 a.m.
Women's stories matter.
Literally.
She was the purveyor of women on
You know what?
nights.
She sucked. She sucked.
Sorry, Caroline.
She had no business being on that show.
Well,
Kathy Griffin would be a good.
Kathy had
the way Kathy came onto The View the day after the Rosie and Elizabeth fight.
I forgot to bring that up.
And just kept bringing it up. And Barbara was like kicking her under the table.
Every 5 minutes,
Iconic.
Barbara would be like, okay, so today or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kathy would be like, today, let's talk about yesterday. Remember the Rosie and Elizabeth fight? Who else watched it? Did you guys watch it? I watched it. I watched it 3 times. And I'm like, that's actually what informed my life is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, give Kathy a talk show. Not anybody. I was going to say that. The issue now with talk shows is that, we were subjected to coming home and you were watching Oprah or The View, or you were actually glued to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You imagine someone clipping now the Rosie and Elizabeth fight in real time.
Well, they couldn't even upload it. It's 10 minutes.
Well, you can, but it's 10 minutes. But it's like
you need to give Elon Musk them.
Yeah. That was made for TV, appointment TV entertainment. Now, a lot of things are not made for clips, but do you watch the Kelly Clarkson show? No, I've seen the Kellyokies on TikTok. Yeah.
Or the clips of the Drew Barrymore show I've seen. Like, it's just the viral clips. Yeah. I've never watched a full segment.
Oh, I have.
Oh, no, I did watch when Victoria Beckham went on.
Yeah. What happens on the Drew Barrymore show is actually not okay.
It's sick. It's sick and it's twisted.
Yeah. It's when she and Oprah.
The second she gets on her knees, I'm just like, I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch it anymore.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like sitting in like Bonnie Hunt's lap. Bonnie Hunt's like, get off of me. No.
Didn't someone tell her to back off one time?
Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think at some point, Drew just like started petting Martha's hair. And she's like, tell me about Martha Stewart living. Someone who had a short-lived talk show, actually 2 people who had short-lived talk shows and who had a feud amid them was Martha Stewart and Bethany Frankel. Are you familiar with the Bethany Frankel talk show?
I know that it existed and I can picture it in my mind's eye.
The
but I never watched
Bethany
it.
clip?
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. Those are 2 titans that I think, one, are not made for each other, Martha and Bethany.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about talk show feuds, that's kind of one thing to pick up on because Bethany's talk show lasted for a year. Martha talk show lasted, I think, for like 3 or 4 seasons. Did you ever watch the Martha Stewart talk show?
I think I must have dipped into it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't sticky for me.
No, it wasn't sticky for me either. But we talked about on the show before was when Miss Piggy was on and she was like, Martha, you're ugly or whatever it was. But let's give Martha another show. Bethany Frankel, we don't need that ever again.
Yeah, because Martha's different now. Like Martha's grown.
Martha's a baddie on IG.
Yeah. So
Martha has her buttons down to here and is like, go Knicks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, go Knicks is right. Go Knicks is right, honey. Give her a talk show. That's kind of, it was a different world where that was also sanitized, where now I think Martha would be completely different. Because now she has that weird venture with Snoop Dogg where they're always like getting high and doing something.
They're doing stuff.
They're doing stuff and getting high.
Yeah.
And I think that's weird. But I think we should give her.
Sorry, what happened with her on Bethany?
Oh, so Bethany got her start on the Martha Stewart Apprentice, which was a spinoff of The Apprentice.
The most watchable season of The Apprentice.
It was incredible.
Of all.
So Bethany was on there as a caterer or something like that. And then Bethany ended up becoming famous, obviously, because of Real Housewives of New York and et cetera. Left Real Housewives of New York, got her short-lived talk show, went back to New York. But Martha famously didn't like Bethany.
Okay.
For a few reasons.
Before appearing on her talk show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Bethany was tugging at the ankles of Martha Stewart, trying to do like, I do it all. And Martha famously is prickly.
Yeah.
Compliment.
Mm-hmm.
And much like she said to Drew Barrymore, she also said to Bethany, you're a pest. And that's why I didn't like you. And now I don't know if they're good, because I think if you were to show Martha Stewart, Bethany Frankel's TikToks where she's eating with her mouth open.
She's chasing UFOs all over the country. Remember that 3 weeks? Okay, who else could we give a talk show to?
Miss Piggy.
Kermit the Frog.
Just Miss Piggy.
Janice.
All the Muppets interview one person.
Actually, all the Muppets having a talk show would be so good.
That'd be fierce. Imagine Miss Piggy just being like,
making every interview about herself.
Yeah.
That would actually be, this is genius. Get the Jim Henson Company on the phone.
Listen, if it were up to me, the Muppets would be in my place right now. I think the Muppets should be everywhere.
Yeah.
The Muppets are the greatest thing that have ever been invented.
They're really wonderful.
They're wonderful. Okay, Miss Piggy, who else? Miss Piggy, Paula Abdul.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give RuPaul another shot.
Yeah. What about, do you remember the Sharon Osbourne show where she interviewed people in the bed?
Yes, which I always thought was a Megan Mullally show, but it's the Sharon Osbourne show.
Yeah, different people.
No, I'm aware, but I thought both of them interviewed people in beds.
I think somebody else did also interview people.
Do you remember the Kris Jenner show?
No.
Where her set was
a bed?
designed. No, it was her foyer of the iconic foyer of the house with the black and white tile.
Oh, missed that one.
You and everybody else was on for like 7 hours. They gave us 7 episodes and they said, we're done.
Felicity Huffman needs work?
No. What kind of work? Marsha Cross, there's your talk show host. Susan Sarandon.
Susan Boyle. Have you seen her new look?
Yes, I have.
She wants a cornetta.
Yeah. What's wrong with a bob? Honestly, if we're going to give anybody a talk show, Nene Leakes.
Okay.
I think that was a missed opportunity. Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like here and there.
Yeah. From her time on Glee.
Yeah. Well, as always. Jordan,
oh, yeah. We got to say bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Can you do the view sign off?
Yeah. Well, which one?
Take a little time.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to say, hit it, Abby.
Oh.
No. Thanks for tuning in. And I hope everybody takes a little time to enjoy the view.
I know I did.
Me too. Did. Because you can't enjoy it in its current form.
Bye.
That's to you, Brian Tetta. All right.
In my loose teeth.
Pardon me.
You want my Red Bull? Who's going to clean your toilets, Mr. Trump? Is Barbara here? She's telling us to stop.
Sometimes we do a double.
Okay, we're done. Oh, we're walking away? I always forget.